Hi, I'd like to present our research on scaling technique for exocentric navigation interface in multiscale virtual environments. My name is Jong-In Lee, and I was working with Dr. Wolfgang Stuerzlinger on this research. First, I would like to start with the motivation of our research. Um, this two-handed scaling technique for exocentric navigation has been widely employed in various applications. One of the prominent example is a VR authoring and painting tools such as Gravity Sketch, Oculus Quilt, and Tilt Brush. This technique, this two-handed grabbing-based technique, has also been studied in research as well. This two-handed scaling techniques allows users to precisely control the scaling environment with intuitive bimanual gestures. However, two-handed technique poses challenges for users to use in multiscale virtual environments. First, it is physically demanding for a long period of usage since it requires swinging both arms for constant clutching to scale up and down to travel across multiple levels of scale. Moreover, it often leads users to make awkward poses while they put both hands in unnatural positions and swinging their arms. Lastly, it is challenging for untrained users to um, enter into an object by zooming in, which is a common task in multiscale virtual environments with density structures where a smaller level of scale is nested by a bigger level of scale. In this case, the user is trying to enter the treehouse but keeps failing because they repeatedly misplace the scaling center. In this research, I tackled the aforementioned issues and studied how the scaling techniques be designed to facilitate traveling across multiple levels of scale with nested structures. And we had these four hypotheses to study that. The first two hypotheses are related to input method, and the other two are related to the scaling center. To answer the questions, we designed two-factor within subject design experiment. The first factor was input method with two levels. Two-handed input method and scroll input method. Two-handed input method enabled users to expand or shrink the environment by opening or closing their arms while they're grabbing the space with both controller, just like the technique that has been used a lot in VR painting and authoring software. Scroll input method enabled them to expand or shrink the environment by swiping the trackpad up and down on the controller held by a non-dominant hand. And using the controller on the dominant hand, user can place this scaling center that is co-located and coincide with the head of the controller. The second factor was scaling center with two levels, controller scaling center and front scaling center. Controller scaling center expand or shrink the environment around the controller's position, specifically the head of the controller in this case. Front scaling center, for the scroll input method, the controller scaling center was at the head of the controller on the dominant hand. For two-handed method, it is the midpoint between two controllers. Front scaling center expand and shrink the environment around the position below user's eye level, which serves as an anchor established during the initialization stage and remains stationary once the task begins. In addition to the scaling center, we also implemented this exocentric locomotion technique, which is a click and drag technique, as you can see in this video. So this click and drag technique was applied for all the conditions in the same manner. The first condition was two-handed input method with controller scaling center, as you can see in this video. Second condition was two-handed input method with front scaling center. So please note that the scaling center does not follow the controller but always fixed at a certain offset from user's viewpoint. The third condition is scroll input method with controller scaling center. The last condition, scroll input method with front scaling center. For this study, we created 3 planets, the three variations of planet that have the same number of level of scale: the planet level, village level, building level, furniture level, and the chess level. I asked participants to perform travel tasks, that is, to travel from chess level in one of these 3 planets to another chess level in the other distant planet. Since this task is challenging for novice users, we gave them enough time to practice and learn the strategy to perform this task quickly, which was to first scale down to see the overview, so that both planets comes within their arm reach, and then scale up to zoom into the other distance planet, and then eventually zoom into the chest. The results show that test completion time significantly reduced by using scroll input method compared to two-handed input method. There was no effect of scaling center. I compared the travel distance to evaluate the navigation accuracy, but found no effect of input method nor scaling center. However, I found significant difference in the number of failed attempts of entering objects. Scroll input method significantly reduced the number of failed attempts compared to a two-handed input. Also, front scaling center significantly reduced the number of failed attempts compared to controller scaling center. In terms of task load, scroll significantly reduced the NASA TLX score in terms of overall physical effort. There was no effect of scaling center and no interaction between input method and scaling center. Scroll was also more preferred than two-handed input method and was rated higher scores in ease of use, efficiency, preference. There's again no effect of scaling center. However, there was interaction between input method and scaling center in ease of use. This results aligns with the feedback from many participants saying that two-handed input method was easier to use with front scaling center compared to using controller scaling center. Based on these results, we could answer the main research questions and hypothesis. Regarding the first 2 hypotheses about the input method design, we found that the advantage of parallelism of bimanual interaction of scroll input method. Unlike two-handed method, the scroll method separates the scaling operation into 2 hands so that the user can operate each hand independently in parallel to arrive at the intended view more quickly and easily. For the other 2 hypotheses, hypothesis 3 and 4 about scaling center choice, we found that the front scaling center improves navigation accuracy, especially when entering smaller level of scale. And also, we found that different scaling centers should be considered for different input method to ensure the navigation interface to be easy to use. Specifically for two-handed input method, front scaling center is more appropriate. Thank you for your attention. Is there any question?